takes passion, talent, tenacity, hard work, and a little bit of luck to make it into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Only 1% of all players that have ever played Major League Baseball are represented in the plaque gallery at the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. New Hall of Famer Barry Larkin learned all about hard work and tenacity at an early age at home.
My dad was my baseball coach. My dad coached a 5- and 6-year-old team when I was 4 years old. That's actually when I started playing. And my mom was the driving force behind it. If you're going to be involved, you're going to do it the right way, and you're going to play hard. You're not going to quit. So those two, my mom and dad, they were incredibly supportive and pushed me and inspired me. I also had a great opportunity to grow up with some brothers around the same age. So I think the biggest thing, that tenaciousness really came from certainly my mom and dad. My mom really pushing me, but it came from a willingness to do whatever it took to win, from growing up around two brothers that were bigger and stronger.
Growing up in Cincinnati in the heyday of the Big Red Machine taught Barry Larkin about passion and showed him what talent can do.
Tony Perez, David Concepcion, Pete Rose, those were all guys I wanted to be like, guys I went outside and emulated. I remember coming home, grass stains all over my jersey, my mom asking, "What are you doing?" I said, "The Superman slide." "Haven't you been watching the Big Red Machine?" Davey, because of the way he played shortstop, and Tony, because of his exaggerated swagger when he was hitting the ball up. Those are my guys, and I was a big fan of those guys.
But it was a little bit of luck that propelled a University of Michigan freshman into a baseball career.
I got recruited to go play football. Actually, out of high school, I was a better football player than baseball player. But thank goodness I made the decision. Although I wasn't the only one that decided my baseball fate. I credit Bo Schembechler a lot with it, because Bo recruited me to come to University of Michigan. When I was there was a defensive back that came back for his 5th year. He calls me and he says, "Hey, Larkin, we're going to redshirt you." And I remember being kind of like, "Really?" And he was like, "Yeah, but I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you just play baseball. I'm going to let you just play baseball." I said, "Okay." You tell Bo Schembechler no. And I said, "Okay." So I went out and I started playing baseball. And it was the first time in my life that I just concentrated on one sport. I was a multi-sport athlete in high school, and I got a lot better quickly. I was starting to mature, and I was starting to get some really good information and some really good technique. So I just saw myself getting so much better, and I was maturing, and the results started to show. And I thought, this is not easier, but it's less taxing on the body, and I'm enjoying it. So I decided I wasn't going to play football anymore. So I had to tell Bo Schembechler that I wasn't going to play football anymore. So I go to Bo's office and I sit down and talk to him, and Bo's a multitasker. Bo has his head down. "Come on in, Larkin," and he's writing and doing this, that, with the other. And he's telling me about what he has in store for me for this next upcoming football season. And I'm sitting there and I'm quiet. And he's just going away and just jabbering, doing all of his work. And he kind of stops and puts his pen down, has not made eye contact with me yet. And he said, "Is there a problem, Larkin?" And I go, "Yeah, Coach, I have something to tell you." He's like, takes his glasses off. He's like, "What is it, Larkin?" Hasn't looked at me yet. I said, "Coach, I'm just going to play baseball." And he says, and he looks at me and he says, "What did you say?" I said, "I'm going to play baseball." And he says, "Larkin, this is the University of Michigan." Boom, hits his desk. All these papers fly all over the place. "No one comes to the University of Michigan to play stinking baseball." And I thought he was going to just come out of his seat to try to kill me. He's like, "Now you come back tomorrow and let's talk about this." I'm like, "Okay, Coach, just relax, okay." So I go out. I remember calling my mom, like, "Mom, can you call this guy?" "No, you got to handle that." Well, good. I come back the next day and I tell him, all right, baseball's a sissy sport anyway. And you know what? I strike you out. I thought that was the end of it. Fall baseball practice. We're out there taking ground balls, fly balls in the field, working out. Haze, 40 degrees, misty rain, nasty weather out. This guy walks into the baseball stadium with a parka on, screaming at me at shortstop, "Larkin, you sissy, come play football. Come hit a man that can hit you back." Heckles me and walks out of the stadium. I'm going, what the world is that? It was Bo Schembechler. He used to come and heckle me because I would not go play football.
Passion, talent, hard work, and tenacity helped Larkin quietly make himself a leader in Cincinnati.
I remember every season assessing kind of where I was and having certain benchmarks that I wanted to reach, not numbers or statistics wise, but overall performance wise, overall efficient wise. That was big for me. Execution was huge for me. It's always been important to me, and that was stressed at an early age as well. Technique, fundamental. I was a student of the game. I was watching how certain guys would field ground balls, or I was watching how guys would hit, and I would ask a lot of questions and try to emulate that or imitate it in certain spots. I tried to make it very personal on both the offensive and defensive end. The two things that I hated the most in the game was, number one, making an error defensively and striking out. So I wanted to put the ball in play, and if I gloved the ball, I wanted to get a guy out. I made those really personal issues to me. I wanted to make sure, and I was able to accomplish this as a hitter. I did not want to strike out more than I walked. When I came into the game, it was the good glove, no bat guy. That was starting to change a little bit. And then I also remember Robin Yount, before he went to the outfield, how offensive-minded a shortstop he was. David Concepcion, who was my guy in Cincinnati, was about the glove also, but he was a good hitter. So 20 years before I got there, David Concepcion wore the shoes that I had to fill, and he was a very good hitter. So I knew I had to do that, but that was always a part of my game, the offensive part.
Only the 48th player to go into the Hall of Fame after spending his entire career with one team, Barry Larkin is proud to represent his hometown.
I just found out the other day that I'm the first native son to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's huge. I fashioned myself. I really played the game with a passion, but more of a workman-like, blue-collar passion, which is very representative of Cincinnati. And I know the people in Cincinnati are very proud, and I'm proud to represent the people in Cincinnati.
This summer, Barry Larkin will see his plaque hung in the Hall of Fame gallery that includes Babe Ruth, Honus Wagner, Ozzie Smith, Jackie Robinson, and more.
It feels good. Feels great. Incredible, amazing, humbling. Wow, that's how it feels. I've always asked the question of myself. I'm a realist, so I look in the mirror a lot and I go, "Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing?" And how was that? Or how are you going to win this? Or how are you going to do what you need to do? And I would always question myself, okay, well, what do you think other people feel about what it is that you do? Well, now, as far as my baseball playing career, I don't have those questions anymore because it was good enough.